Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there. I'm your host, Fondue.
I'm Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're talking all about your Easter favorites. We're going to talk about Easter cheese and basket cheese. We're going to be talking about bunnies, eggs, baskets, and even Peeps. And of course, no episode would be complete without our very cheesy joke.
Joke.
Stay tuned for episode Easter Basket on Just Cheesy, the podcast. You know, Cheesy, a lot of people think about candy at Easter.
Yeah, duh.
But you know what?
What?
There's actually an Easter cheese.
Cheese?
That's right. There is an Eastern European holiday tradition that's been going on for generations, and it has a name that I can't pronounce.
Of course.
In fact, depending on where you are, it has several names that I can't pronounce.
Oh, no.
Hrudka,
Oh,
Sirac,
stop.
Sirac,
No.
and many others.
Cut it out.
And I am sorry to all of the Eastern Europeans.
Everyone.
According to Spruce Eats and CupcakesandKaleChips.com, this is an egg cheese.
It is?
And a few years ago, I tried to make this myself. I would say
yeah.
it tastes a little bit more like, it's a little eggier than it is cheesy.
Yeah.
And they say here, it's basically a ball of eggs and milk.
Whoa.
It gets cooked until the proteins separate into curds, and then the liquid separates into whey.
No
and
way.
it's made similarly to farmer's cheese.
Oh.
However, it takes a ton of eggs.
Yeah, it does.
One of the recipes, and they're all pretty simple, one of them calls for a full dozen eggs.
A
That's
full
right, it calls
dozen?
for a full dozen eggs, whole milk, sugar, and salt.
Whoa.
Maybe you don't want to make your own cheese for Easter.
You don't?
And if you're like me, you were thinking of Easter baskets and came
Ooh.
across something called basket cheese.
What?
And if you've never heard of it, it's
Nope.
a fresh, mild cheese with Mediterranean origins.
Ooh.
And this one's kind of literal.
Okay.
It gets its name from the traditional method of shaping and draining the curds in, guess what?
What?
Woven baskets.
Oh, yeah.
And what's cool about that
What?
is it leaves its imprint right on the surface of the cheese.
It does?
Toludos.com has a picture of this cheese. They
Whoa.
describe it as delicate and slightly salty. They say it's easy to slice or crumble, and it's often enjoyed with fresh bread or fruit, and they say it complements both sweet and savory dishes. There's a
Yummy.
Turkish version of this same cheese called, I'm going to butcher it,
Please don't.
sepet piniri.
Oh.
According to Wikipedia, this is traditionally made from goat milk, though
It
sheep
is?
and cow can also be used.
Whoa.
And of course, they have baskets, and they were traditionally woven from reeds.
Nice.
But to me, the most exciting part of this is something called pizza rustica, also
Ooh.
called Easter ham pie. And
Ooh.
this bad boy does not disappoint.
Nope.
It's a savory pie,
Yeah.
traditionally made and served at Easter,
Ooh.
packed with basket cheese, cured meats, and eggs. It's an Italian-American community specialty.
Yeah.
And apparently this is as big a tradition as the Easter Bunny.
Wow.
We've got a link to a TikTok video by Leah's Cucina, and this is the depiction of this awesome-looking pizza rustica.
So good.
You've got to check it out. It
Yeah.
looks delicious.
Delish.
Toludo's Basket Cheese is not a sponsor,
Nope.
but if it was, the ad would go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah,
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
they do.
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY,
Cheesy.
that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. Now, let's talk about how Easter became what it is today.
Okay.
The Easter basket, the bunny, and yes, of course, some Peeps.
Whoa.
Let's start with the bunny because the
Okay.
real story is not what people expect.
It's not?
There's a lot of different Easter bunny origin stories.
There are?
One of them originated among the German Lutherans.
Whoa.
And the original Easter hare was not necessarily a cheerful gift giver.
wasn't?
He was kind of a judge.
Ooh.
He evaluated whether children had been good or bad at the start of the Easter season.
Whoa.
Kind of the same role as Santa Claus.
Oh.
And only the good ones got the eggs.
Does he see you when you're sleeping?
I don't actually know. The bunny was actually mentioned in a German text as far back as 1572.
Holy cow.
Wikipedia says the German immigrants brought it to America,
Whoa.
specifically to Pennsylvania Dutch communities in the 18th century.
Whoa.
And according to scholar Richard Sermon, hares were a common sight in gardens during the spring and may have provided a convenient explanation for the colored eggs that were hidden there for children.
What's the difference between a hare and a rabbit?
That's a good question because I didn't know that either. Apparently, hares are larger than rabbits. They have longer ears and they have black markings on their fur. It says here that hares usually live above ground and they live and give birth in shallow depressions or flattened areas of grass. And because they're born out in the open, they're typically born with all of their fur and their eyes wide open. Rabbits, by contrast, are actually born blind and hairless. So most rabbits give birth and live underground in burrows. And many burrows together in an area forms a warren. This helps keep them safe from predators. And you know what else keeps them safe?
What?
The hare, and you've always heard the story of the tortoise and the hare, they're pretty quick.
They are?
They can run up to 50 miles an hour over short distances.
Holy cow.
Long distance, they can run 35 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Now, going back to the Easter bunny or the Easter hare, we still don't know why we were talking about eggs.
Why?
Well, apparently that same scholar, Richard Sermon, he noted that a long-standing European belief was held that hares laid eggs.
Bunnies lay eggs?
They don't lay eggs. However, it seems that it's possible that the confusion came when the resting place of a hare and the nest of a lapwing, the bird, looked a lot alike. Both were found in grasslands and appeared in the spring. And of course, the growing influence of Easter-themed cards, toys, and books helped to popularize the Easter hare or rabbit across Europe. And somewhere along the line, the judgmental hare became the basket-toting bunny we know today. There's another running theory that Easter eggs have been associated with Easter specifically because eating them was prohibited during Lent. People gave up eggs for 40 days, and when Easter arrived, they finally got to enjoy them again.
Like a cheat day.
History.com notes that Easter egg hunts and Easter egg rolling are two popular egg-related traditions.
They are?
Did you know that the very first official White House egg roll occurred in 1878?
Holy cow.
This was when President Hayes was in office. Did you also know Easter is the second best-selling candy holiday in America only after Halloween?
It is?
Chocolate eggs date back to the early 19th century in Europe.
They do?
The jelly bean goes back to 1930.
It does?
And believe it or not, more than 16 billion with a B. Billion jelly beans are made in the United States each year for Easter.
Holy cow.
But let's talk about one of the other quintessential Easter candies, Peeps. That's right. No Easter episode is complete without a peep. These little guys were originally made by a company called Rhoda Candy in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Each marshmallow chick was originally formed by hand. The workers had to squeeze marshmallow paste through pastry tubes one at a time. And it took a whopping 27 hours to make a single batch of Peeps.
27 hours?
Yeah, that's right. 27 hours per batch.
Holy cow.
In 1953, a company called Just Born acquired Rhoda, and Bob Born, the founder's son, built a machine called the Depositor.
The Depositor.
And this thing mechanized the entire process.
It did?
What used to take 27 hours now takes 6 minutes.
Wow.
Did you also know that the original Peeps had wings?
They
That's
did?
right. They clipped these wings in 1955 for a sleeker, more modern look. And it actually helped in their production.
Of course.
And according to the Just Peeps factory tour, which we've got a link to in our show notes, the company says that they make enough Peeps every year to circle the earth 2.5 times.
Circle the earth.
Let that sink in. They make 5.5 million Peeps per day.
Per day?
2 billion per year.
That's a lot of Peeps.
It sure is. And apparently they're described sometimes jokingly as indestructible.
They
In
are?
1999, scientists at Emory University jokingly performed experiments on batches of Peeps to see how easily they could be dissolved, burned, or otherwise disintegrated. According to Wikipedia, they used cigarette smoke, boiling water, and liquid nitrogen. According to Emory.edu, researchers could not dissolve Peeps in acetone, water, diluted sulfuric acid, and sodium hydroxide. Once phenol was introduced, the only thing left at the end were the Peeps' eyes. You know what, researchers? You know one way to get rid of a Peep?
What?
You just eat it.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, what do you call a cheese that gets super excited about Easter?
Ooh, I don't know.
A basket case.
Oh, another dorky one.
I like that one because it was a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, episode Easter Basket.
Thank you.
We're pretty excited about a holiday coming up in April
Yeah.
called Cheese Ball Day.
My day.
Check out our video where we make a sunflower cheese ball.
Ooh.
We hope you make one at home yourself.
And stay cheesy, everybody.